Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is literally going to change the way you work. If you're tired of constantly jumping between different apps just to manage your tasks, you are absolutely in the right place. We're breaking down the Task Hash Sync system. This is a custom local MCP server setup that completely eliminates friction from your daily workflow. Let's get right into it. I want you to just imagine this for a second. What if your personal notes in Obsidian, your code issues in GitHub, and your task execution in OmniFocus all magically shared one brain? No more copying and pasting, no more losing track of what you need to do today. It sounds totally like a dream, right? Well, this system actually makes it a reality. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the task management wall, then move into the magic behind the sync tasks prompt. After that, we'll look at the ultimate bidirectional sync system, peek under the hood at the core technology called Task Hash, and finally, we'll wrap up with some real-world daily task use cases. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the task management wall. You know, if you're a power user or a developer, your digital world is probably incredibly fragmented. Your meeting notes, daily journals, and brain dumps, they live in Obsidian vaults. Your software bugs and project issues, those are over in GitHub. But the actual execution, getting things done and managing your time, happens in OmniFocus. Because these three amazing tools don't natively talk to each other, you're stuck doing manual entry. And that causes massive friction and, inevitably, dropped tasks. Okay, let's dive into this contrast, because it's huge. The old way meant manually entering the same task across 3 different apps and just trying to keep due dates straight in your head. But the new way, you literally just type one single prompt into Claudian right inside Obsidian. That's it. You don't have to write Python scripts every morning or manually drag files around anymore. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the sync tasks magic. And when I say magic, I mean it. Sync tasks. That is the only manual thing you have to do. You type that exact, simple phrase into Claudian within Obsidian, and it triggers this incredibly powerful, fully automated workflow that we're about to look at. So, behind the scenes of that one simple prompt, Claude Desktop spins up local MCP servers and flawlessly executes a 3-step sync, completely hands-off. First is the forward sync, pulling new tasks from GitHub and your Vault right into OmniFocus. Next is the reverse sync, which takes your completed tasks in OmniFocus and pushes those updates back to the sources. And finally, it does an all-task scan in OmniFocus to catch any untracked items. It does the whole shebang instantly, without you even having to click confirm. Okay, let's pull back the curtain a bit more in Section 3, the ultimate bidirectional sync system. Now, what makes this work so well is strict domain separation. As you can see, GitHub Issues sync directly to OmniFocus Projects. GitHub is your absolute source of truth for heavy project work. Meanwhile, your Vault Daily Notes route straight to your OmniFocus Inbox to handle those smaller daily tasks. This separation is key. It means your inbox doesn't get flooded with complex code issues, and your projects don't get cluttered with a random reminder to buy milk. And because it's completely bidirectional, consistency is guaranteed across the board. Think of OmniFocus as your actual working execution environment. GitHub is your authoritative project source, and your Vault Daily Notes are for quick capture and archiving. The coolest part? Metadata like due dates using the little calendar emoji and Markdown links are perfectly preserved and accurately reflected in the OmniFocus notes and date fields. So the crucial point here is how it keeps track of everything. Let's look at Section 4, Core Technology, Task Hash. Right, the Task Hash. This is essentially the secret sauce. It's an 8-character CRC32 hexadecimal value. Think of it like a digital passport or the DNA for every single task you create. This hash provides a mutable, globally unique identification across all 3 systems, ensuring nothing ever gets lost in translation. To put that into perspective, look at this example right here. You've got the task Build Mobile App, followed by this 8-digit hexap suffix in parentheses C4A2F819. That's your task hash. And here's why it's a real game changer. Even if you rename the task later to, say, Code Mobile App, or shift the due dates, that hash stays exactly the same. It is completely immutable for the lifetime of the task. The system literally cannot lose track of it. Behind the scenes, the system safely generates this hash for you. When a task is created, it builds a unique source ID based on exactly where that task lives, like a specific GitHub repo and issue number. It computes the hash, tacks it onto the task name, and updates the master sync state file. And this entire process is idempotent, meaning no matter how many times you run the sync, it safely prevents any duplicate tasks or hash collisions. It's rock solid. All right, Enough theory. Let's move to section 5 and see how this actually builds into your daily, frictionless routine. Let's look at a super common daily scenario. You're in your Obsidian Daily Note, and you just type a quick checkbox, dash, bracket, review code. Then you pop over to Claudian and hit it with the Sync Tasks prompt. Instantly, that task routes directly to your OmniFocus inbox. And it gets better. If you use tab indentations in Obsidian to make subtasks, the system automatically converts those into a perfect parent-child hierarchy right inside OmniFocus. How cool is that? Now, what about the developer side? Say you create a brand new GitHub issue for a software bug. Next time you throw that Sync Tasks prompt at Claudian, it detects the new issue, auto-generates a task hash for the title, and boom, a new OmniFocus project is instantly created for you. Plus, any checkboxes you put in the body of that GitHub issue, those become actionable subtasks in OmniFocus. It completely removes the busy work of setting up projects manually. Let's track the life cycle of one task through a typical day. At 9 a.m., you add a task in your Obsidian Daily Note. By 11 a.m., you run a sync, and it's sitting perfectly in your OmniFocus inbox. You do the work, and at 3 p.m., you check it off as completed in OmniFocus. At 3:01, you sync again, and the reverse sync magic happens. The system traces all the way back to your vault and drops a green checkmark emoji and a completion timestamp on the exact line where the task originated. And I have to highlight this absolutely brilliant quality of life feature. Let's say you manually added a task into OmniFocus on a Tuesday, but you completely forget to sync it until Wednesday. The system is smart enough to look at the OmniFocus creation date, so it routes that task straight into Tuesday's Daily Note, not Wednesday's, perfectly preserving the historical context of when you actually had the thought. Just a few quick but absolutely critical rules for your daily flow. Because the system scans all OmniFocus tasks, even if you create a hashless task on your phone while you're out, it'll instantly catch it and route it properly. Also, while completing child tasks in OmniFocus will check off the corresponding boxes in GitHub, checking off all of them will not automatically close the GitHub issue itself. This is on purpose. It preserves your ongoing work context and keeps the final project completion firmly under your manual control. So we've seen how unifying Obsidian, GitHub, and OmniFocus completely rewires how you work. No more copy-pasting, no more lost tasks, just a seamless workflow driven by local AI integration. Are you ready to eliminate the friction in your daily workflow with just one single prompt? Rethinking your task management architecture might just be the absolute best productivity upgrade you make this year. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.